What's up? You're watching MOBO TV right now. My name is Annabel and I am joined by the video director for Loyle Carner's The Isle of ARRAN. It's Georgia Hudson. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for your time today. And obviously this video is up for Best Video at the MOBO Awards this year. How does it feel to be part of something like that?
I think that's pretty incredible, to be honest. We set out trying to make something that was quite simple and authentic and honest, and for something that is trying to like talk on such a kind of a human level, to be recognised in this way is really beautiful.
So take us back to the very beginning of the project. How did it first come about? Had you worked with him before, and where did the story begin?
I hadn't worked with Ben before, but when he came to me with this song, he had a loose idea of what he wanted to do, and it was really important to him that we made something that essentially celebrated young fathers that are there and present for their children, which is a really that's a really beautiful thing to do, really, is actually to respect young men in a way that society often doesn't. So we had that pretty important narrative to get across. Also, when the song first came to me, it was originally called Back of the Church, which kind of like lent me to some kind of like idea of like holiness, or like the magnitude of what birth is, and kind of what our experience is as people on earth.
So let's go a little bit more sort of into the story behind the video and the concept. Was it you that just wrote the treatment by yourself? Was it a collaborative effort with the rest of the team? How did the story come to life?
With the Isle of ARRAN, Ben came to me with the track. He had an idea for what he wanted to do. He wanted to celebrate young fathers. He actually had as well the narrative idea that you'd be in a hospital and you'd think something terrible had happened, and then you realised, oh no, it's a baby's been born instead. So, he came and I knew that it was going to be full of emotion and that we wanted to work on that. So that translated into how we decided to shoot it, which was focusing on doing one-shots with like few edit points, just to really like explicitly be like, this is honesty, there's no illusion here. But then I really wanted to amplify that choice about leaning towards honesty by having a few surreal moments. So it's not like we're being honest because that's all we know. It's like we're choosing to be honest, and that's proven by his mum up on the ceiling crucified, or the levitating body. But I wanted to bring, if we open on death and you bring a bit of a spirituality into that, or like the magic of real life. And then it's the same with the baby. It doesn't need any special effects because that is the magic of real life too. So.
And the final shot is really powerful with all the fathers and the babies. Was that a one-take one?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Because we shot it on film, and film is expensive, and the budget wasn't very high. We did that twice. And all those babies weren't going to hold their patience for that long. My baby is in that shot too.
Really? So you brought real life babies in. How does that sort of thing come about? How do you organise that?
With good producers who reach out to lots and lots of people. But it was amazing the amount of dads who were really excited to be given a beautiful portrait with their children. Men don't get celebrated for being caregivers in the same way. So I think it was a really beautiful thing to do.
Absolutely. And how many people were on the whole production team altogether, would you say?
I don't know, probably about 40 or so. It's always quite a lot of people. There's lots of jobs to do and bringing it all together. And
obviously, as you say, it's a very important meaning behind the video. But I want to know, on projects like that, when it's quite a heavy subject, can you still have fun on set? What's it like in the background, behind the scenes? I mean, it was hilarious being surrounded, like in that gym, that echoing gym with 20 babies. That was quite a light mood, I think there was like a moment when we do where Ben was standing looking at the mum and his new baby, and he was genuinely crying because there's like poignancy in his lyrics there. So yeah, it's a mixture of like being reverential and celebratory. Of course. Well, you did a very good job of bringing the song to life with that. Where did you film it, and how long did the whole process take for you?
Oh, it was, standard one-day music video shoot. We did it in a working hospital in Tottenham, I think it was Tottenham, which had some disused wards, which is where we did the newborn baby scene, kind of vintage and, you know, the perfect aesthetic already. So we didn't actually light any of it, we just shot it all on film, which adds like a extra special quality to the way it looks.
And in terms of music, what other videos have you worked on with other artists in the UK?
In the UK especially, I mean, I've done a lot now.
Any memorable projects for you?
Plenty. I think the first music video, or one of the first music videos I did that I personally liked that I'd done, was a Glass Animals video, which had some amazing London dancers in it, and that really sparked my passion for working with dancers, which is something that runs through all my work. Other UK, I did Ellie Goulding when I was like 7 months pregnant, which was a pretty big achievement. That was my maternity pay. And other than I did Nimmo, amazing band, 2 girls, incredible. That was more dance as well. That's probably over the last year or so.
And how did it all begin for you? What was your first kind of experiment in the world of film?
Well, I went to art school and did a degree in ceramics, but I used to often make films of people like interacting with my ceramics. And then from there, when I graduated, I didn't want to be an artist, and so I kind of looked around at young people who I thought were making waves and doing things. You know, I've got a bit of a business brain too, so I was just like, well, how can I be successful as well as creative? So I learned how to reply to my emails and just tried to move around with a little camera like that and video everything I could. Work with your community, everyone you know, beautiful young people. If you're a young person, you're surrounded by them, film them. You've got a trendy little video.
So what obstacles have you faced in the creative industry in your journey so far?
I don't know. I don't think we need to look at things as obstacles necessarily. I think challenges and the way that you navigate them, that makes you who you are. That's the difference between people who are going to succeed or not. It's like, is it an obstacle or is it the end of the road? So how'd you get around that, I guess? And that's in you.
And a lot of people would say, there's no sort of guidebook for breaking into the industry as a creative. So what advice would you give to other aspiring directors in the game?
Honestly, just to use all of your resources, which is people, free time, your mum's house, whatever, and to, I don't know, just believe in yourself. Like, being a video director is about what your taste is, what you think is right, and so just like becoming more and more familiar with your own instinct and your your own creativity. That's what your identity is. So you've kind of got to believe in yourself, which sounds a bit naff, but it really is true. But not to the arrogant point. There's no excuse for arrogance.
There's a limit. So what's next for you? You've obviously had huge amounts of success with your career, but what's coming next in 2018?
Good question. This year has been pretty non-stop. So right now I'm taking a couple weeks to kind of review what I'm doing. I have a short film called Temper, which is coming out next year, and that's about suffering. So that's one big misery train that focuses on some incredible creatives in New York. So yeah.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to it, and best of luck with the Best Video Awards. We'll see you there.
Thank you.